Every particle remembers. Relax and enjoy this long-form transmission on information, memory, and the nature of reality. Part 1. The Architecture of Remembrance. The assumption that shapes all suffering. There is a belief so deeply embedded in human civilization that it rarely announces itself as a belief at all. It operates silently, like background radiation, invisible, omnipresent, and profoundly influential. Entire cultures are built atop it. Entire economies assume it. Entire psychologies are shaped by it long before language forms. The belief is not merely that reality forgets, but that forgetting is natural, that time washes clean, that existence resets, that consequence expires. This assumption expresses itself everywhere. In the idea that harm doesn't matter if no one sees it, in the belief that history is something we escape rather than something we inhabit, in the fantasy that death functions as deletion, in the notion that meaning must be invented because nothing lasts. If reality forgets, then nothing is finally accounted for. And if nothing is finally accounted for, then exploitation becomes logical, violence becomes efficient, love becomes sentimental rather than structural, morality becomes a social contract instead of a law of existence. But this assumption, though widespread, is catastrophically wrong. Not wrong as a matter of opinion, not wrong as a matter of belief, wrong as a matter of structure. Reality does not merely remember. It is constituted by remembrance. Memory is not something that happens inside the universe. Memory is something the universe is doing. And once this is seen, suffering itself is revealed not as meaningless pain, but as misalignment with an informationally moral reality. A reality in which nothing disappears, nothing is exempt, and nothing escapes integration. Chapter 1. What information really is and is not. Modern language has corrupted the word information by shrinking it. We associate it with screens, files, data packets, binary code, artifacts of recent technological history. But these are merely interfaces, not the phenomenon itself. Information precedes language. Information precedes biology. Information precedes matter. At its most fundamental level, information is difference that persists across time. Not difference alone, because difference without persistence vanishes. Not persistence alone, because persistence without distinction is uniformity. Information exists when something happens, and the universe cannot return to exactly what it was before. This is why information is not optional, it is unavoidable. A stone striking another stone creates information. A star collapsing creates information. A thought forming creates information. A decision made internally creates information, even if no human observes it, even if no record is kept, even if the event seems trivial. There is no known physical process that can restore the universe to a prior global state. This is not metaphysical speculation. It is a direct implication of causality. Once an event occurs, the universe must now include that event in all future states, even if the influence is infinitesimal, which means reality is cumulative by necessity. Existence is not a series of isolated moments. It is a continually accreting archive. This alone collapses nihilism. Meaning is not invented. Meaning is enforced by irreversibility. Chapter 2. Why matter turned out not to be fundamental. Human intuition evolved in a narrow band of physical scale. At that scale, objects appear solid, stable, and independent. A rock feels like a thing. A body feels like a thing. A table appears self-contained. For centuries, science reinforced this intuition, until it began to examine matter closely enough that intuition failed. Atoms, once thought indivisible, turned out to be mostly empty space. Subatomic particles refused to behave like objects at all. Fields replaced particles. Probabilities replaced positions. Relations replaced substances. At the deepest levels discovered so far, there are no things, only interactions. A particle is not a tiny bead. It is a record of how a field can behave. Mass is not substance. It is resistance to acceleration, a relational property. Charge is not a thing, it is a pattern of interaction. Even space-time itself ceased to be a passive backdrop and revealed itself as responsive, shaped by what occurs within it. This forced physics into an uncomfortable realization. Reality behaves less like a machine made of parts and more like a system that updates itself based on what has happened. That is not a metaphor, it is a description. The universe does not contain memory the way a box contains objects. The universe is memory in motion. Chapter 3. The Myth of Destruction. Destruction is one of humanity's most persistent illusions. We speak of destroying forests, destroying cities, destroying lives, destroying evidence, as though the universe possesses a mechanism for erasure. It does not. Burning a book does not remove the information contained within it. It redistributes it. The combustion products alter atmospheric chemistry. Heat propagates as structured energy. Photons carry spectral signatures outward. Ash encodes molecular rearrangements. Observers are neurologically altered. The act changes future decisions. Nothing is removed from existence. It is translated into new forms of influence. Even death, the most feared form of destruction, fails to erase. A life alters. Genetic lineages, social structures, emotional landscapes, probability distributions. The universe does not delete, it integrates. The idea of destruction survives only because human perception is narrow. When forms dissolve, we mistake transformation for disappearance. But the universe has no undue function. Chapter 4. Black holes and the moment physics panicked. For a brief moment in scientific history, physicists believed they had found an exception. Black holes appeared to annihilate information. Anything crossing the event horizon was thought to vanish, inaccessible forever. This posed a technical inconvenience at first, then a logical catastrophe. Because if information can be destroyed, then the future cannot be derived from the past. Physical law loses determinism. Conservation principles fail. Reality becomes inconsistent with itself. This contradiction became known as the black hole information paradox. One of the most prominent defenders of information loss was Stephen Hawking, who later reversed his position after decades of resistance. The universe forced the issue. Modern physics now overwhelmingly supports the conclusion that black holes do not erase information. They encode it on their boundaries, scramble it, delay it, and eventually re-release it in altered but lawful forms. Even at the most extreme edges of existence, reality refuses to forget. The lesson is unavoidable. If black holes cannot erase information, nothing can. Chapter 5. The Holographic Reality. From black hole physics emerged one of the most unsettling ideas ever proposed, the holographic principle. In a hologram, information about the whole is encoded across the surface. Break it, and you do not destroy the image, you reduce resolution. Applied to reality, this implies something extraordinary. The universe does not store memory locally. Information is distributed across space-time. Every region contains traces of the whole. This mirrors ancient spiritual insight with uncanny precision, the idea that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm, that each part participates in the totality. Physics did not arrive at this conclusion seeking spirituality. It arrived there because forgetting broke the math. Reality remembers because it must. Part 2. Entangled History and Embodied Time. Chapter 6. Entanglement. When separation fails. Classical intuition assumes that interaction is temporary. Two objects meet. They influence one another. They separate. The interaction ends. Quantum reality refuses this model. When two particles interact at the quantum level, their properties become entangled, meaning their states can no longer be described independently. Even when separated by vast distances, their measurements remain correlated. This correlation is not mediated by signals. It does not travel through space. It does not respect distance. The only thing linking the particles is shared history. Entanglement reveals a principle that classical thinking never anticipated. Interaction creates permanent relational memory. Once two systems have interacted, The universe never fully restores their independence. This is not limited to particles. Every interaction, physical, biological, emotional, social, leaves behind correlation. A word spoken alters neural wiring in two brains. A touch leaves physiological traces. A betrayal restructures trust landscapes. A kindness reshapes future probabilities. Separation is never complete. Distance does not erase connection. Time does not erase connection. The universe does not allow clean breaks. This is why relationships linger. This is why history echoes. This is why unresolved harm propagates forward. Entanglement is not an anomaly. It is a revelation of how memory operates at every scale. Chapter 7. Time does not erase, it accumulates. Human language treats time as motion. We say time passes. We say moments go by. We say the past is behind us. These metaphors are psychologically convenient and physically misleading. In reality, time does not carry events away. It stores them. A better metaphor is geology, not rivers. Sediment does not disappear downstream. It compresses, it layers, it accumulates pressure. The past becomes denser, not distant. Physics confirms this intuition. The laws of thermodynamics reveal that time has a direction because information accumulates. Entropy increases because systems retain records of prior states. If time erased information, entropy would not exist. Time is not a deletion process. Time is an archive under compression. This is why trauma resurfaces decades later. Cultures repeat unresolved patterns. Civilizations reenact ancient conflicts. Personal histories influence present reactions. The past does not vanish. It becomes implicit. Meaning emerges not because events fade, but because accumulated memory creates structure. Chapter 8. Spacetime as a recording medium. Spacetime is not empty. It is responsive. Mass tells spacetime how to curve. Energy tells spacetime how to distort. Motion leaves geometric imprint. Every orbit is a memory loop. Every collision writes history into curvature. Every collapse alters the future shape of reality. Gravity itself is not merely attraction. It is history made structural. This insight emerged most clearly through the work of Albert Einstein, whose theory of relativity revealed that space-time reacts to what happens within it. The universe does not merely witness events, it becomes shaped by them. This means space-time functions as a cosmic recording medium, not in discrete snapshots, but in continuous deformation. The universe remembers by existing the way it does. There is no separate archive. Reality is the archive. Chapter 9. The body as biological memory. The human body is often mistaken for a present moment object. It is not. It is a living record. Every cell contains evidence of prior conditions. Bones thicken where stress was repeated. Muscles lengthen or shorten based on habitual use. The immune system encodes prior invasions. Hormonal systems adapt to chronic environments. Trauma is not stored as a story, it is stored as physiology. This is why trauma cannot be reasoned away. This is why healing requires time. This is why safety must be experienced, not explained. The body remembers because survival depends on memory. Healing is not about erasing the past, it is about updating the record. Chapter 10. Epigenetics and ancestral memory. For generations, biology assumed inheritance was static. Genes were thought to be fixed instructions, passed unchanged from parent to child. This assumption collapsed with the discovery of epigenetics. Gene expression changes in response to environment, stress, nutrition, and trauma. And some of these changes are inherited. Which means starvation leaves biological echoes, violence imprints stress responses, fear patterns propagate forward, survival strategies cross generations. Your nervous system may be responding to threats your ancestors faced. Your baseline anxiety may not be yours. History does not only live in books, it lives in biology. The dead are not gone. They are encoded. Chapter 11. Consciousness as access, not storage. The brain is often compared to a computer. This analogy fails. Computers store information locally, brains do not. Neuroscience increasingly suggests that the brain functions less like a hard drive and more like a tuning system, a dynamic interface that accesses distributed information. This explains phenomena long dismissed as anomalies: sudden memory retrieval without cues, déjà vu experiences, near-death experiences, mystical states of unity. Consciousness does not generate reality, it interfaces with it. The mind does not contain everything it knows. It participates in a larger informational field. Memory is not confined to neurons. Neurons are access points. Part 3. Here the moral geometry of reality. Chapter 12. The universal record. Across civilizations that never contacted one another, the same idea appears again and again under different names. A book of life, a divine ledger, a cosmic archive, the Akashic record. Modern culture dismisses these as myth. That dismissal is premature. Stripped of symbolism, the claim is simple. Reality retains a complete record of everything that has occurred. This is not mystical excess. It is the inevitable outcome of an irreversible universe. If information cannot be destroyed, if space-time retains deformation, if interactions leave permanent correlation, then a universal record is not optional. It is unavoidable. The universe cannot forget itself without ceasing to be lawful. This does not mean there is a literal book floating somewhere in space. It means existence itself functions as the record. Every event contributes to the global state of reality. Every action alters future conditions. Every intention biases probability. Nothing needs to keep track. Tracking is what existence already does. Chapter 13. Moral law as physical consequence. Morality is often treated as a human invention. Rules created by societies. Codes enforced by power. Agreements that vary by culture. This view collapses under informational realism. If actions leave permanent traces, then behavior has objective consequences, regardless of opinion. Morality is not about obedience. It is about alignment with a cumulative universe. Consider, violence introduces instability into systems. Deception corrupts shared informational space. Exploitation amplifies asymmetry and collapse. Compassion increases coherence and resilience. These are not moral judgments. They are structural effects. A universe that remembers cannot be morally neutral. Consequences do not require belief. Gravity does not care whether you understand it. Memory does not care whether you acknowledge it. Ethics emerge not because someone commanded them, but because reality enforces them over time. Chapter 14. Sin is informational noise. Sin is commonly misunderstood as rule-breaking. This framing is shallow. At its root, sin is coherence-breaking behavior. It introduces noise into systems that depend on trust, alignment, and shared reality. Noise spreads. A lie does not remain local. An act of cruelty does not stop at its target. A betrayal does not end with the betrayer, because information propagates. Noise degrades signal. Distortion multiplies downstream. This is why sin compounds. Not because of punishment, but because disorder scales faster than repair. The universe does not punish sin. It propagates its consequences. Chapter 15. Forgiveness. As memory transformation. Forgiveness is often mistaken for forgetting. It is not. Forgiveness does not erase the past. It re-encodes it. The event remains. The memory remains. The history remains. What changes is the structure of influence. Unforgiven memory loops. It amplifies noise. It locks systems into repetition. Forgiveness breaks the loop, not by denial, but by transforming how the information is carried forward. This is why forgiveness is powerful. It alters the future without falsifying the past. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is informational alchemy. Chapter 16. Love as maximum coherence. Love is not sentiment. Love is not preference. Love is not attraction alone. Love is coherence across systems. When love is present, systems synchronize. Noise cancels. Trust reduces entropy. Futures stabilize. Love is alignment that persists under stress. In physics, coherence allows signals to survive interference. In biology, coherence enables homeostasis. In relationships, coherence creates safety. In civilizations, coherence allows longevity. Love preserves information against entropy. This is why love heals. This is why love stabilizes. This is why love endures. Love is not an emotion added onto reality. Love is a principle that reality rewards. Part 4. Perfect Memory and the Way Back. Chapter 17. God is Perfect Remembrance. When theology describes God as omniscient, omnipresent, and eternal, these are often treated as abstract superlatives, exaggerations meant to inspire awe rather than convey structure. But taken literally, they describe something precise: perfect memory. To know all things is to remember all things. To be present everywhere is to retain access to all states. To be eternal is to lose nothing to time. In the language of information, God is not merely a being within reality. God is the total retention of reality. This reframes ancient scripture in a startlingly concrete way. In the Bible, God is repeatedly described not as someone who occasionally remembers, but as someone who cannot forget. I am is not a poetic phrase. It is a statement of absolute presence across time. Nothing falls out of awareness, nothing slips through cracks, nothing fades into oblivion. This is why prayer is not about informing God. This is why confession is not about revealing secrets. This is why repentance is not about changing God's mind. God already remembers. The transformation must occur in the structure of the being who acted. God as perfect remembrance means that reality is not morally indifferent. It means love, truth, and coherence are not preferences. They are reflections of the deepest nature of existence itself. Chapter 18. Death is not erasure. Death is commonly imagined as deletion. The lights go out, the record ends, the story disappears. This intuition comes from confusing localization with existence. Death ends localization. It does not end participation. During life, experience is localized to a nervous system, to a body, to a particular viewpoint. At death, localization dissolves, but dissolution is not erasure. Every experience lived has already altered. Other people, physical environments, probability landscapes, informational structures, and those alterations persist. If memory is distributed, and all evidence suggests it is, then death does not destroy memory. It returns it to the whole. This does not require speculation about heaven or hell to be meaningful. It simply requires accepting that nothing lived is wasted. Every joy contributed coherence. Every suffering contributed structure. Every act mattered because it could not be undone. Death is not a trash bin. It is a reintegration event. Chapter 19. Why power fears memory. If reality remembers, then power becomes accountable. This is why systems built on exploitation work relentlessly to sever memory. History is rewritten. Records are destroyed. Narratives are fractured. Attention is fragmented because memory threatens domination. If reality forgets, then lies expire, crimes vanish, harm dissolves. But if reality remembers, injustice accumulates, violence compounds, exploitation destabilizes systems, power depends on amnesia, truth depends on continuity. This is why propaganda focuses not just on falsehood, but on distraction. A distracted population cannot integrate memory. A fragmented mind cannot see consequence chains. Remembering is resistance. Epilogue. Remember who you are. You are not a temporary spark flickering in a meaningless void. You are a trace-leaving phenomenon inside a universe that cannot forget. Every thought slightly alters neural geometry. Every choice biases future probabilities. Every act of love stabilizes coherence. Every act of cruelty injects noise. You do not act in the universe. You act as part of its memory formation process. The universe is not watching you like a judge behind glass. It is remembering you by becoming different because you existed. This is why meaning is unavoidable. This is why responsibility is inescapable. This is why love matters structurally, not sentimentally. You cannot erase yourself. You can only choose what kind of trace you leave. Live accordingly, because every particle remembers.